Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life.
Another thing you can do is wild foraging and learning about wild edible weeds. I mean, you can get the most nutritional food. I mean, when you're going to the store to buy food, you're stepping over these foods that are for free. They're the edible weeds that are coming right out of the sidewalks of the grounds when you're walking, and they're just coming everywhere. I mean, they're weeds. Now, some of them you might not be familiar with. You have to get familiar with them, but some of them you can be very familiar with. Like, for example, dandelion. Dandelion is a common popular weed that you know what it looks like, you know what it tastes like, and it's growing just about everywhere. And it's one of the most nutritional things you can get, and it's free. And as long as it's not in a park or somewhere where it's been sprayed, you got yourself some good food there. I mean, I learned about wild edible foods. You can give me a bowl, and I can go out in a park and come back with a whole salad. Now, we have to be careful, folks, because 90% of the weeds and edibles out there, are edible and perfectly fine. However, 10% aren't. They're poisonous. So, if you're not sure, you're only going to learn that one time. So you want to be 100% absolutely sure about the wild edible weeds that you're going to consume if you do choose that route. Now, how do you be sure? Well, what you want to do is you want to make sure you can identify them. Again, some of them are very common to identify, but others might not be as common. But what you want to do is you get the weed, and then you get a book, a wild foraging book. My friend Wildman Steve Brill, if you go to Wildman Steve Brill, or it might be Wildman Steve, Wildman Steve Brill, BRIL.com, and you can see information on his website about a lot of the most common weeds that are out there. And also on YouTube, you can look for Green Dean, and he talks about a lot of wild edible greens. But you want to be 100% sure, and you can just match them up to the internet and just see if they look the same. Look at the description, the smell, get a little magnifying glass and look at the little tiny flowers, which makes it easier to identify. So those are ways to identify it, and you'll find it's not as difficult as you think it is. And once you identify one, you'll find how much easier it is to identify more. So I watch those videos on YouTube and get those books and look at the internet, and you'll see. So those are 3 ways to get your own food. Now, another thing you can do is look at, especially if you're in California or South Florida or some other climates, even in New York, because in New York they have apples, but look at the fruits. The fruit trees. I mean, the fruit trees are a wonderful, wonderful way to get much of the nutrients that our body needs. Alright, everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show. That's this week's featured video. I pray that you enjoyed it. Remember, put those comments and questions below the video. And thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life. Brighten up your life.